So in this video, we are going to be talking about the process of formation of urine, or perhaps the urinary system. We have four major components of the urinary system, which include the two kidney, the two ureter, the bladder, and the urethra. And of course, you know that the kidney is responsible for the production of urine. Once this urine is being produced, it travels down the ureter, it gets to the bladder for storage, and it will be released during micturition through the urethra. We have the major functions of the kidney, which include the formation of urine, maintaining of electrolyte balance, including water, production of the hormone called erythropoietin, removal of waste product, and release of an enzyme called renin. Now, the kidney is responsible for the production of a particular hormone called erythropoietin. Once the red blood cell count is low, it releases a hormone called erythropoietin that travels to the bone marrow and stimulates the production of red blood cell in order to keep the red blood cell count within normal. Like I rightfully said, the kidney is also responsible for the release of an enzyme called renin. Now, once the blood coming to the kidney through the renal artery is of low blood pressure or low pressure, the kidney releases this enzyme called renin that will go through a lot of cascade to increase the blood pressure in order to bring it within the normal range. The kidney is rightfully responsible for the removal of waste product, like I said. Once the kidney has filtered the waste product, it releases it out through the collecting duct and it gets down to the urethra, to the bladder, before it begins to be excreted out of the body through the urethra. Now I'm going to the main function of the kidney, which is the formation of urine. We have three major processes in the formation of urine, which include ultrafiltration, selective reabsorption, and secretion. There's a part of the kidney called the nephron, and this is what we call the functional unit of the kidney. It is what actually does the work of the formation of urine. In the nephron, we have the glomerular capsule, we have the proximal convoluted tubule, we have the medullary rump, we have the distal convoluted tubule, and we have the collecting duct. The renal artery carries blood to the kidney, and the kidney receives about 25% of cardiac output. Now, when this blood gets to the kidney, of course, the blood is carrying waste product. What the kidney is there to do is to filter out the waste product and keep back the normal percentage of the blood. So once this renal artery gets to the kidney, as it's getting close to the glomerular capsule of the nephron, it divides into tiny vessels, which are called capillaries. For any diffusion or exchange to occur in the vessel, it must divide into smaller vessels, which are called capillaries, so that the gases or the substances or the waste product can easily diffuse out of the vessel. When this vessel gets close to the glomerular capsule, it divides into capillary, like I've said. Now, this capillary wrap around together and form what we call glomerulus. Now, see this glomerular capsule as a sieve. If you are boiling a rice, if you want to filter out the fluid, you have to pour the rice in a sieve. Now, the fluid or the water comes out as the filtrate, while the rice remains in the sieve as the residue. Let's take the glomerular capsule that way. We are still under the ultrafiltration. Now, in the glomerular capsule, the capillaries filter out, or the glomerular capsule filters out this waste product from the capillary. Now, this waste product, which include water, is definitely among, urea, some glucose, some amino acid, all of them are not waste product completely, but the glomerular capsule will filter some amount of the components of the blood into the tubule. Now, once this component, or once this substances comes out of the glomerular capsule, it gets down to the proximal convoluted tubule. Now, this is the process of ultrafiltration, where these substances are being filtered out of the blood. There are some substances that will remain in the blood, which include blood cells, which are heavy to come out of the capillary, including the drugs and plasma proteins. All these substances or molecules they kind of have a better molecular weight, and they cannot be easily sieved out of the glomerular capsule into the tubule. Now, going over to the second process of urine formation, we have the selective reabsorption. Now, there are some substances that the kidney might have mistakenly filtered, like glucose, amino acid. These are substances that the body also requires to function. Now, these substances will be selectively reabsorbed from the nephron back into the peritubular capillaries. Remember, I said that the renal artery carries blood to the glomerular capsule. Once the blood is being filtered, the vessel wraps around the nephron, just in case of reabsorption. So these substances like the glucose, amino acid, water, etc., will be reabsorbed into the peritubular capillaries. Now, once they are being reabsorbed into the peritubular capillaries, you should have about 60 to 70% of the component of the filtrate. Now, going down to the medullary loop, some substances will also be reabsorbed, like sodium, chloride, water, etc., making the urine to be more dilute. Going up to the distal convoluted tubule, more water will be reabsorbed, including at the collecting duct, making the urine to become more dilute. Now, going over to the last one, which is the secretion. There are some substances that the body might have in excess, like glucose. Let's say someone that is diabetic, they have too much glucose in their bloodstream, or someone that has too much protein. Now, these substances will be secreted into the tubule for the kidney to excrete them out of the body. Now, there are lots of things to know about the urinary system, which I'm still going to be talking about in the next video. But if you have any question at the moment, you can drop it at the comment section. Thank you.